Hi there, my name is Bowie. I use they, them pronouns. Welcome to your training session. Today we're going to be working through a floor-based movement flow. It's going to be a combination of stretches, mobility, as well as some body weight strength training. So if you are not on the floor, I invite you to come down with me. We're going to work through just a series of movements. There's not going to be any particular sets and reps with these. So follow along as you feel good about, rest as you need. You know where you're at, so I really want you to work with what feels good for you. I want to acknowledge the original custodians of this land on which this video is being recorded. I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. This video is brought to you by Proud to Play. So to begin, we are going to come onto our hands and knees. You're going to bring your hands probably to around eye level. You want them a little bit in front of you. You're going to have your knees just resting under your hips, toes curled under. And what we're going to do is bracing with our hands, so making sure your fingers are nice and wide. Lifting the knees up, pressing the hips back, and your heels down towards the floor. You can let your head just hang here. Take a breath, and when you're ready, shifting your weight forwards to over your hands, dropping your hips down to the ground. Knees can rest on the floor and just looking up. Doesn't matter how low you get with your hips here, just wherever you're at, totally okay. Coming back to our kneeling start position, and we're going to go again. Press those hips up and back, pressing the heels down towards the floor. Bend your knees a little bit if you like as well. Don't feel like you've got to have straight legs. You definitely do not. Holding for as long as you feel good about. Coming forward, resting those knees down, bringing your hips down towards the floor. Again, holding here also for as long as you feel like. And so we're going to do 3 more. Just taking your time, nice, slow movements here, getting a nice big stretch up through our backs, through the backs of our legs. This is our second last one. Breathing through this whole time as well. You don't want to hold your breath at any point. So remembering that as you're working through these stretches, even if they're feeling a bit uncomfortable or a bit tight, just breathing and not slipping if you can help it. Coming forward one last time. Coming to hands and knees. We're going to take one foot and step it forward, either in one go or a couple of smaller creeping steps. Doesn't matter, whatever feels good for you. We're going to reach that back foot out just a little bit more. And from here, we're just going to drop our hip down towards our heel here. So we're kind of, a forward motion is happening there. You can keep your hands on the floor to support you as well. Feel good about that. Bracing as you need. Now you're likely to feel this up the back of this front leg and up the front of your back leg there. So managing that as much as you like, controlling with your arms and that push forward there. Just breathing through here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Neck is nice and straight, and we're looking probably about 1.5 foot in front of us, just keeping a nice straight neck there, a nice neutral position. Allowing yourself to sink. If you notice that your body wants to sink forward, not resisting that, just gradually easing into it. And we're going to push back with our hands, step that foot back, and we're going to swap sides. So stepping that opposite foot up in either one step or a couple of smaller ones, whatever works for you. Adjusting that back leg back a little bit further if you like. And again, using your hands to support your upper body. Just holding that position, breathing. If you're a little bit tight through your legs at all, you might find this one is generating a little bit of resistance through your legs. Maybe you're bracing a little bit even without realizing it. So feel good about using your hands, supporting yourself. Even creeping that front foot back a little bit towards under the front of your shoulder can help to reduce that stretch and allow a little bit more tension to ease from those muscles. But really feeling good about that, finding what works for you. Sinking down. If you notice that your hips are wanting to sink down and forwards towards your heel, just letting that happen, nice and slow. Breathing through. Again, our neck is nice and straight, eyes are looking just a little bit in front onto the floor. And stepping back. I'm going to step that front foot forwards again. Adjusting our back leg. We're going to keep our opposite hand to our front foot on the floor. We're going to take our hand that used to be where our foot is now, and we're going to rotate at the hips, and we're going to point those fingers up towards the roof. I'm just going to hold here, breathing through. Allowing those hips to sink forward if you feel that they want to sink forward. Slowly coming back down. We're going to swap sides, stepping it back, bringing that opposite foot to the front, and we're going to do the same thing this side on the opposite side. So we reach up, pointing our fingers towards the roof as best we can, and eyes are on our fingertips as well. Keeping our eyes and our fingers helps us get an increased rotation through our spine there. You might find that each side feels different, and that's okay. Wherever you're at is perfect. You might not be able to reach this high up. That's fine. Wherever you were getting to, you just work from where you were at. Coming back down. Let's swap sides one more time. We're going to do one more time each side. Coming back into that position. Again, sinking forward if you're feeling like there's space to do so, but not forcing anything. Eyes are on our fingers, and we're just breathing in through the nose if you can, out through the mouth. Let's bring that hand back down. We're going to swap sides one more time. Stepping that front forward back. Swapping it over. Stepping up in either one go or a couple of smaller steps. Finding that balance point, and when you're ready, reaching up. Gently sinking forwards if you find that you've got space to do so, but keeping your eyes on your fingers. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. That's it. Calming back down nice and slow. I'm going to come back, knees come to not necessarily under the hips. You can bring them as wide as you feel comfortable to. I'm going to sit back down onto our heels. Reach your hands forward. And feel good at just turning your head to one side here. Stretching your arms right out. I'm just going to take a moment here. Breathing in. Doing your best to take nice full breaths here. I want you to try and Expand your ribs in every possible direction that you can with every inhale. So nice full breath in and out. Creeping those fingers a little bit further forward if you feel you can. One more breath in and out. That's it. We're going to come forward onto our stomachs. And bringing our elbows to under our shoulders. Our hands just going to rest in front of us. Tops of the feet are going to come to the floor. And we're going to begin just by gently stretching our torso up nice and tall here. So we're gently pushing the elbows down and the ground away. We come up nice and tall. Just going to relax. We're going to just sink a little bit, not right down, but just come out of that extended tall spine. And then we're going to go back into it again, reaching our chest up nice and high. Nice long neck. Breathing in and out. Relaxing down just a little bit. And we're going to go one more time. That's it. We're going to come down onto our fronts. Hands are going to come to under the front of our shoulders. From here, you can have your head turned sideways to start with if you like. You can gently press the ground down with your hands. Looking forwards as you raise your chest up, coming to whatever point you can get to here. Your arms don't have to be straight. They can be wherever you are at. That's okay. Coming back down. We're going to go again. This one can feel quite intense through your mid-back, so really be mindful of that if you're getting some kind of really interesting or sensations that feel not necessarily painful, but just intense. Just ease into that. You don't want to push that too far because you don't want to end up with any sort of muscle spasms that could lead to you getting a stiff or sore back. This is a movement we want to really gradually introduce movement in this direction of our spine because it's not a direction we necessarily go very often. Let's keep this going. Holding at the top for as long as you feel good about. Keeping your hips as close to the floor as you can get them. And do one more. That's it. When you're ready, lowering yourself back down. We're going to stay on our stomachs. You're going to turn your head to one side. Doesn't matter which side, we'll do both. Hands are going to come down to your sides, palms down. We're going to take the leg on the same side that we're looking, and we're going to just bend it at the knee. Let our foot cross over the top of our straight leg, and then push our leg back to the ground or to just behind us, wherever you can get to. Bring it back down. We're going to look to the other side, and we're going to do exactly the same thing on the opposite leg. Push and reach it back, getting to wherever it is you can get to. It doesn't matter where that is. That's the way. Swapping sides again. Just easing into it. It's okay if one side feels stiffer than the other. Just try not to force anything here. Alternating left and right, being sure that you're turning your head to face the same direction as the leg that you were lifting. That's it. Let's do one more each side. That's it. Last time, opposite side. Nice. I'm going to roll over onto our backs now. Yes. Making your way over. Taking a moment to adjust yourself if you need. And from here, you're going to bend your knees. I'm going to bring arms just straight up, fingers pointing to the roof. Now you've got two options here. You can either bend your knees and hold them at 90 degrees, and you're going to take one hand and then the opposite leg, reach them back, and then back to that starting point, swapping sides. If you want to increase that intensity, you can straighten your legs right out and do the same thing. But feel where you're at and what feels good for you and go with that. Starting with knees bent can be a little bit easier, so it might be the way to go if this is not something you've done before or you're not so familiar with. And then if you like, as you get a bit more comfortable and just coordinated, sometimes these trick our brains a little bit. That's okay. So if you find you're getting a little bit jumbled, it is all good. This is a way that our brain doesn't always think to move our limbs, so it can just take it a minute to really get comfortable with that. That's it. Let's do one more each side. Last side. Coming back up. You can bring your feet down to the floor. Hands come down as well. We're going to take our hands and we're going to put them on our hips here. And we're just going to take a moment, put our hands on our hips to bring our brain's attention to them. What we want to do is focus on our tailbone. We want to roll it down towards the floor, rolling it down as far as you can, pressing into the floor, and then rolling back up, and then continuing to roll until you're gently rolling your tailbone up off the floor. So we're just going to alternate here, rolling our tailbone down as far as you can go. Only focus on moving your pelvis. No other areas. Your legs shouldn't be doing anything here. All we're doing is tilting our pelvis, tilting it up, tilting it down, lifting the tailbone away from the floor, pressing our tailbone into the floor. That's it. You're not necessarily going to get a lot of height, especially with this tilt upwards. It's not about lifting high, it's just about introducing some movement to our pelvis, because that area of our body, our lower back, our hips, they get quite stiff, and our pelvis can be not used to this sort of tilting, which can help just loosen things up and introduce some movement to our torsos that maybe they're not used to. Let's do one more tilt up and one more tilt down. Amazing. Coming back to that starting position before we begin tilting, you can keep your hands on your hips if you like. It's your call, or you can bring them out to your sides. But what we're going to do, we're going to roll down with our pelvis again. We're going to roll up. But as we reach that point where we can't tilt our pelvis anymore, we're going to press down nice and strong through the heels, and we're going to slowly raise our butts up off the ground, like we're doing it one vertebrae at a time of our spine, gently rolling up, getting to whatever height you can get to. We don't want to be arching past level. And then we're going to roll our spines back down, roll, 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 roll. And then our pelvis comes to the floor, we roll our tailbone down. And we're going to go again, rolling up. And then we continue that roll up. Our spine pressing down nice and strong through the heels. All of this lifting comes from the backs of our legs, not from our backs. So if you're feeling a little bit grabby in your back, I want you to bring your attention to how firmly you're pressing your heels down into the ground. Every time we reach the bottom, we tilt down, rolling our tailbone as far down towards the floor as we can, and then rolling back up. And roll ourselves all the way. It's not about height. You find if your back's feeling a bit grabby, it could be because you're just trying to pull yourself up through the middle with your back. And that's not what we want. What we really want is to focus on getting the backs of our legs working here. Pressing nice and slow. Slow movements are great. Not only are they safer for us, but it actually gets our brain talking to more muscle fibers in our body. So we really need to encourage that sometimes. Helps us learn a movement pattern. That's it. Rolling down. Want to do one more. Taking your time here. Really slow, really steady. This is not about just pumping these out. It's about getting everything working. That's it. Nice and relaxing. Coming over onto your side. Doesn't matter which side, we'll do both. So pick one that you feel comfortable with. One hand, the bottom hand, is going to come to beside our ear under our head. Our top leg, you'll notice my knee has come out. You want to creep your knee out as far as it'll go. You can even straighten your leg out if you like. Our top hand is going to reach back and we're going to get a nice big rotation in our back. With this top hand, feel good about supporting your head. Also the bottom hand, feel good about supporting your head if you like there. If you find you rotate and it shifts off your arm, just give your head some support. I'm going to get this nice big rotation. You can stretch your leg out in one direction, stretch your arm out in the other. Do your best to breathe. Don't rotate so far that your breath catches though. We don't want that. We don't want our breath catching. So rotate only so far as you can breathe moderately comfortably, considering the twist we're asking our torso to have. Let's bring our arm back. Roll over onto our fronts and we're going to swap sides and do exactly the same thing on our opposite side. So our arm reaches up or back to support our head. Our top leg reaches out. Our arm reaches back. And we rotate. You might find one side can get further than the other. That is totally okay. It's not about how far you can rotate. It's simply about inviting that movement. Breathing as best you can. That's the way. Let's bring that back. Let's do one more time each side. Coming back to our starting side. Finding that position that feels good for you. Reaching that leg out. Reaching that arm back. Even looking back with your head. See if you can see your fingertips and your peripheral vision. That's it. You get to a point you find where you stop kind of sinking back. You can just take a moment once you reach that point. Just give yourself a couple of breaths there, in and out. Coming back over one more time on our opposite side. Setting ourselves up. And when you're ready, not trying to force this stretch at all. I really want to encourage the rotation to just increase gradually on its own. You'll find you'll take these little moments where you'll start sinking down. That's what we're looking for. And you'll hit a bottom point. Once we're there, 2 breaths in and out. And we come back. Yes. Coming back onto our side. I'm going to bring our knees to bent at 90 degrees in front of us. You can have your bottom hand, get on my mat a bit better, bottom hand under your head, top hand can just support. And we're going to just put about a fist size gap between our knees there. And once we have that, we're going to gently raise our knee and foot at the same time, so the shin is going to stay parallel to the ground, and we're going to lower it back down. We're going to keep that hover. It doesn't have to be a huge lift here, just a gentle pulse. That's it, nice and slow. Let's keep it going. Slow and steady. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Amazing. Relaxing down. We're going to swap sides. I'm going to spin around this way for you. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. So the bottom arm supports the head. Our knees are bent at 90 degrees. Our top hand can just brace on the floor. We hover about fist size gap between our knees. Shin stays parallel. Knee and foot move at the same time. Pulse up and down. So 1. That's it. Nice and steady. Nice and controlled. We're not just swinging. We want to lift. That's it. Slow and controlled. Keep it going. That's it. Do 2 more. And relaxing. Whew. Finishing off on our backs. I'm going to spin this way for you. I'm going to cross one leg over our knee. And you just relax your head down. I'm just going to start here. You can creep that bottom foot up to as close to your butt as you like. I'm just going to hold here. I'm going to take a moment. Just getting comfortable as you can. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift that foot off the floor. Reach up and either grab around the front of your shin or under the back of your knee, whatever feels good for you. I'm just going to hold here. You can keep your chin tucked if you like, or you can rest your head back down on the ground. Just breathing here, getting a nice big stretch up the side of your hip, possibly into the back of that leg as well. Depending on where you're tight, you might feel this in a variety of different places. Just breathing through. That's it. Our foot's going to come to the ground and we're going to swap sides. So we cross our opposite leg over, creep our foot right up, and start with, we're just giving our leg just a minute here to get used to this position. Holding that knee out if you need to, it's totally fine. And then when you're feeling good, reaching up, either grabbing around the front of the knee or under the back, wherever you're at, it's all good. Resting your head down if you like, or keeping your chin tucked. Keeping your chin tucked will ease off that stretch, so there won't be so much pressure there. So the more you lay back, the more it's likely to increase that stretch for you. And just holding and breathing. Try not to resist the sensations that you're feeling. You don't want to brace. You might find that perhaps you're bracing either through your stomach, through the fronts of your shoulders. So just doing your best to just allow the sensation. You have control over it with how you support the bent leg that you're holding, and also by where you're holding your head. So find that position that helps you feel as comfortable as possible here. That's it. And when you're ready, I'm going to bring that foot down. We're going to uncross our legs, come to sitting. Well done, friend. that is all. I hope you feel perhaps a bit looser. I hope that maybe you were challenged a little bit by some of these movements, that you felt manageable, and that you just had a good time moving in a few different and possibly new ways. I hope you can join me for our next session. Until then, have a rad as day.